I know stasis seems to be the king of Warmind Cells at the moment, but what is Strand going to do about it? Now, without jumping into the pack, let's see what it looks like from afar. And if you just want to rip the machine gun out, you can do that too. Well, I think Strand's got some positive things to say about this build, and it's been an absolute joy to play with the weapons that we've got on display. Now, I'll be breaking down the armor and the weapons and the exotics and everything in between, so make sure you stick around. If you want to skip to certain areas, there's timestamps down below. Let's get stuck into it. Let's start with our exotic items. We have the exotic pulse rifle, new Malpais, alongside the exotic chest, Severance Enclosure. Now, new Malpais is basically mid-retrograde on steroids. It's got a remote detonation for its rounds, and Severance Enclosure is basically a powered melee explosion. So if you get the kill with a powered melee, your target will explode, and with new Malpais, once you detonate your explosions, it provides area of effect damage. Now, why is that important? Well, let's have a look at the armor set. Now, the reason we're using those exotics is because they pair very nicely with our armor set today, which is going to be the 7th Seraph armor set. Now, the armor is reprised, but the effect is completely new. And just reading the description of the 2-piece and the 4-piece, you can really get an understanding of why it's actually pretty popular at the moment. The 2-piece and the 4-piece both have very critical roles in the build. As you can see in the 2-piece, final blows with area of effect damage and 7th Seraph weapons grant Warmind charges. And you can see in the 4-piece, while you have Warmind charges, defeating powerful combatants and constructs or destroying a Tangle releases a solar detonation. So off the back of what we've just discovered, new Malpais, Severance Enclosure, they both create explosions, and therefore they both contribute to Warmind Cells. Our Threadlings also do the same, along with our explosions from Tangles and the little needles that they leave left over. The Grapple provides a severing melee, which provides explosions, and that's an area of effect as well. So we've already got 5 or 6 different ways that we can trigger Warmind charges to get it basically proccing as quickly as we can for as long a time as we want. Now for the subclass, guys, let's have a look at our abilities. So Frenzy Blade is the only melee we've got, and when you strike a combatant with your Frenzy Blade, you will sever them, and when you defeat a severed target, they will unwind into a Tangle. So the more Tangles we have, essentially the more Warmind Cells we can explode. Now, as I was saying before about the grapple, during and shortly after grappling, your melee attack deals area damage and unravels targets. So again, another way to create Tangles and another way to create Warmind charges. Onto the aspects, and the first one is going to be into the fray. Destroying a Tangle, going to have a lot of those, or casting a super grants Woven Mail from nearby allies, so a lot of survivability for your mates. And while you have Woven Mail, your melee regeneration rate is increased, so obviously we're going to be using a lot of our melee. Hand in hand, that's perfect for us. Second one is going to be Banner of War. Defeating a target with a melee attack, finisher, or sword raises a Banner of War and pulses with energy. Periodically heals nearby allies and increases melee and sword damage. Where after that, the melee aspect of that, targets defeated by you and nearby allies charge the banner and increases the speed of its pulses. So it does go up to a ×4 aspect where it does pulse quite quickly, and you do feel the effects of it, so it is a nice little aspect to have on the build. Next up is the Fragments. So we had Transmutation, Warding, Propagation, and Rebirth. And the reason we've gone for these Fragments is purely because we want to be able to create Tangles, we want to be able to generate Woven Mail, and we're going to create Unraveling rounds for ourselves, alongside the ability to create Threadlings from Strand weapon kills. Now let's have a look at our other 2 weapons quickly, guys. So the first one we had was the 7th Seraph VY7. Now this will activate for our Warmind charges as well. And alongside that, we're using this heavy machine gun. Now, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. I have taken a call in this gun the Diabetes, because I don't know what it is with my accent, but I just cannot pronounce it properly, and I'm probably just going to butcher it. So this is the Diabetes 06 machine gun. So I've left this on the screen because it's actually got this really interesting trait, and it works well again because it's providing area of effect damage, it's providing explosions. carry munitions. Now, this has got basically a trait from the exotic grenade launcher Colony. It's little insectoid things that come out. So when you defeat orange bars enemies, you'll notice these tiny little skittering insectoid robots, and they will go and explode. So they'll activate Warmind charges again. And that's exactly why we saw so many explosions in the opening scene as well. Okay, so let's move on to our artifact, and after that, the armor. First of all, we've got the Implement of Curiosity. Now, this thing is jam-packed with Strand. We're going to work with Horde Shuttle, Pack Tactics, and Threat of Blast. This is why we're getting massive explosions with our Tangles, Cauterized Darkness, Energy Acceleration, alongside Tangled Web, and last but not least, Elemental Overdrive. Now, the micro missile damage increase is going to help out new Malpais, and Cauterized Darkness is going to help out too, because we're running Strand. A lot of other people seem to be running Solar at the moment because of Hello Fire, Heart, and a few other things, Crackshots, Hunters as well. So you get a bit of a benefit there too, guys. Let's have a look at the armor mods now, guys. Now, not too much to write home about. Pretty basic setup, but let's go through them one by one. With the helm, we're running 2 of the Strand Siphon alongside 1 Super Font, just so we can level up our Super to 100 once we've got the armor charge happening. Our arms, we're using a melee font, and 2 of heavy-handed, because we'll be using a lot of melee just to generate a few more orbs for ourselves. Chest is going to be 1 health font, just to bump up our health stat. Now, mine's a little bit lower. I'll go through my stats in a sec, but mine sort of suffered a little bit, so I just wanted to use this. You can switch it out for a resistance mod too, alongside 2 Strand ammo generation mods. Legs is going to be 1 Surge for Strand, better already, just to get our health back a little bit quicker in high difficulty activities, and a Scavenger mod, alongside our Mark, which is going to have 1 of Reaper, Powerful Attraction, and Time Dilation. Alrighty guys, so let's just have a quick look at the stats. Now, like I said, had a few fonts there, so our health is going to be 65 with armor charge, melee is going to be 170, grenade's going to stay at 30, super will be 100, and our class and weapons will be the same as pictured, so 115 and 105. So a decent spread, primarily into the melee. I've chosen weapons as well, just so we've got a good amount of handling and reload speed. Class, because I like to have my barricade, but others might want to choose super instead. Alright guys, well that's going to be the build for today. So look, thanks very much for checking it out. I've been really enjoying the support that a lot of people have been showing. Lots of comments, giving suggestions about what they'd change. And look, I've been implementing some of these changes. They work better than what I suggested, and I think that's fantastic. Really good to see that people are giving it a go and then putting their own spin on it. So I really like to see that. But look, thanks for the support as always. We're basically knocking on the door of 700 last video, and now we're almost at 800 with this one. So I think getting to 1,000 subscribers isn't too much far-fetched. I don't know. It's a really big achievement that I'd like to make. So if you guys are happy to subscribe, like, and keep commenting as you do, feel free to. I try to respond to every comment that comes down there, because look, everyone's usually got something positive to say, something interesting to add to the builds, and I just really enjoy seeing people interact with, even with each other and even with myself. So I'll leave you with it, guys. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.